Welcome to the Good Intentions Show on the UI Media Network, of course sponsored by the United Intentions Foundation. And today I have a pleasure to introduce somebody very special to me, a good friend, Lorelei Robbins. She's the astrologer to the stars, and I think we're going to have something very special to talk about today. Birthdays, what does it mean when it's a new year, so much more going on, and I can't tell you how enjoyable my experience has been with Lorelei over the last 3-4 years?
Mm-hmm. 6 actually.
So 6 years, you're right. You're right. Oh my goodness. Wow, where's time go? And so we're going to be talking about that, and she may have a couple surprises for us too. So let's get her involved in the conversation. So Lorelei, tell me, I know it's been 6 years, right? We've known each other, and you've called out a lot of information on what's going to be happening. In fact, you were the only one, I think, ahead of time announced when everybody thought Trump was going to lose that he was going to be the president of the United States.
I did.
So you go against the grain here. You go against where all the birds are flying in one direction. So.
Well, and I just reflect back to 3 years ago, as we were talking about earlier, when we had lunch and you were in a 12-year cycle of expansion. Jupiter was in Leo. And I said, don't be surprised if you start doing, remember? I said, don't be surprised if you start doing radio or TV.
Before radio and TV.
But what's so interesting is that we all have this cast of characters.
Yeah.
And while Leo is the star, Leo is pay attention to me. It's just like the child that says, love me because I got up today. When I was looking at your chart, because you just had a birthday yesterday, I was thinking, yeah, you got all that Leo stuff going on, but you're a bleeding heart who wants to clean up the planet.
Yeah, I know, right?
And all these different things that you do, all these transformative, all the various things that you're interested in. But Leo's job, like every sign has its job, its cosmic responsibility, is to shine. So the more joy and fun and play that you allow, which you do, but the more you are here doing your God-given mission. But again, it's not just about pay attention to me, pay attention to me. It's like being Leo for the purpose that's much bigger than you.
See, it makes a lot of sense when you explain it that way. When you start saying Jupiter and Mars aligned with everything else like that, I get a little lost.
It's a language, yeah.
It is a whole other language. So speaking of that language, let's talk about astrology in general real quick here, and then we could talk more specifically, whatever you like to talk about in reference to birthdays and things like that. Because that's one thing I am interested in hearing about is there's always like a new year for you. Every time a birthday comes around, there's something potentially new. I guess it depends on the.
Well, and for you, and Jennifer, last year, of course, you have the same birthday, was the solar eclipse.
Right.
Was this huge, which means that
I watched it on my birthday.
Yeah, and it's like if all of us, but especially the Leo folks, are not living from the heart, because that's the essence of Leo, nothing's probably going to work. So all the stuff that you're doing that's guiding you is heart driven.
Yeah, I sense that, and it's keeping me on track too, because if I deviate at all, things don't go right.
Right.
It's fascinating that you say that. But astrology, you've been teaching, sharing this for I don't know how many decades.
30-something years,
Right.
yeah. And through my personnel business. When I had a personnel business, I used astrology as the tool to help me recruit for people I was recruiting for.
Right.
So the more I would know their wiring, like in your case, it's not just Leo, pay attention to me. It's tremendous. You're a therapist, you're a researcher, you have these qualities of going deeper to be of service. Being of service is not a Leo thing.
That's not really?
No.
Is it because I'm on the cusp of Virgo?
It's
maybe?
because number one, you have a planet in Virgo. You have a character. One of your characters is in Virgo, and it's Venus. Venus is what we love, and you love to clean things up on some level, and it's a love of being of service. As I said, that's not a Leo thing. Leo's job is to shine. Leo's job is to be the child. Leo's job is to the parties that you throw. It's to express and to celebrate life. That's what your job is.
Well, I feel like I'm in my purpose right now.
Totally.
If that's the case,
Totally. And I was looking, for your home Golden Homes business. I
Yes,
was thinking,
yeah.
where is that in the chart? Well, your moon, the moon is the feeling planet. Your moon is in Pisces. Pisces is the other most creative sign in the zodiac, and it's one of the two most spiritual signs. And it's way down in the bottom of your chart in the house of home and family.
Let's continue this conversation after break, and let's focus on, maybe it is a good idea. Let's focus on my birthday. Since I'm a Leo, let's focus on me, right?
Yeah. Very comfortable.
No, I think it will give people an opportunity to know the specifics of when you break down one star or one sign, you could give people the specifics on how they can do that.
Yes.
And the details of when the moon aligns with Mars or whatever else is out there. Right? We're talking to Lorelei Robbins. We'll be right back.
What if you could have whatever you desired with a simple thought? Wishful thinking? Science has proven that thoughts can change our reality. Join the movement and be part of an interactive virtual community that helps you take control of your life through the power of intentions.
Hi, my name is Tim Ray. I'm the founder of the United Intentions Foundation at unitedintentions.org. Everything is energy, and that's all there's to it. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. There can be no other way. And this is not philosophy, this is physics. Now, I just gave you a quote from, not me, but from Albert Einstein. He said a long, long time ago. So what does he mean by matching your frequency of the reality you want to experience? First, you have to realize that not only as humans, but everything is made up of energy. And at an atomic level, everything's vibrating at certain frequencies. Even on a collective level, we're vibrating at a certain frequency. This is very important to know. And once you understand that, you're closer to understanding what Einstein meant by matching our reality and matching the frequency. You'll have that experience. Stay with me here, because our thoughts, feelings, and emotions vibrate at specific and unique frequencies. There's a physical phenomenon going on and with our thoughts and feelings, and we have to realize that whatever state of being that we create through our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, we will attract that experience. That's the law of attraction. So it behooves us to choose our thoughts carefully, at least be aware of our state of being, because that's the experience we will have. Learn more at unitedintentions.org and begin manifesting your passions one intention at a time. Welcome back to the Good Intentions Show. I'm Tim Ray, your host. I'm sitting here with Lorelei Robbins, the astrologer to the stars, and we've been talking about me, of course, Leo, right? And actually, we're going to get a little more in depth because there's a private side I just found out to my sign, whatever that may mean. But so Lorelei, real quick, I did want to mention one thing, that if you guys want to catch Lorelei, you can catch her on the Miracle Minute, which is on Facebook and
Every day.
Every day. So tell us a little about that real quick.
Well, and I'll be doing it after the show. I was waiting. My Miracle Minute is to be a dose of magic, joy, and inspiration, to be encouraging, to highlight something that's going on in the cosmic weather that everybody's feeling, and to approach it in a way that is uplifting, that is encouraging, and that helps clarify things for people.
Well, definitely check it out. So we were just talking about, because you said, Tim, of course, Leos have a certain stereotype to them. Every sign has a stereotype.
Absolutely.
Like Scorpio, sexy. Leo's a center of attention. I don't know.
Cancer's emotional. Right?
Well,
Capricorn's
that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you're saying just with my, not numbers, but my sign, it has a certain privacy piece to it.
With your cast of characters.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean by the cast of characters?
Well, cast of characters, we could call the parts of your personality.
Okay.
Right? Because you're not just Leo. You have this cast. You have how you think, what you love, what drives you, emotional self, and they're the planets. But I call it your cast of characters because I like that metaphor. And so part of your cast of characters, where there is this tremendous ability to be on, sharing whatever it is that delights you, there is also this very kind of needing to pull back, contemplative, reflective. I mean, your home is in the woods, which makes total sense, as opposed to out, where, it's hidden in a sense. It's very sanctuary.
Yes.
And sanctuary would be a great word for you.
Yes, that would be, very important to me.
Yes.
Right.
Because see, while you're a fire sign, Leo, you have a lot of water in your chart. Water is absorptive. Water is intuitive. Water is sensitive and emotional. So as I said, so when we flesh out the cast of characters, people usually lump everything they know about someone under the sun sign. So they might say, well, gee, Leo is sensitive and of service. No, that's not, no, Leo's job is to shine. But again, in your case, there is this strong sense of wanting to be of service and wanting to be useful, productive, and efficient of resources. So it sort of embellishes the whole picture.
Now, you mentioned the rise of Scorpio, too. What does that mean?
The rising sign, this is where the time is important, and one can always do a chart without the time, but the rising sign is the persona. I've always called it the interview personality. That's the part of you that could actually be very quiet and even reserved and drinking in what's around you. In other words, like really being able to discern the lay of the land. Like, oh, okay, I get that energy over there. In other words, while you could walk into a room and take charge, at the same time, you are intuiting all these things that are going. Isn't that true?
Very much so. My God, you told all my secrets. I don't know if this
No,
is
but again, people wouldn't necessarily see that, you know? But it's the part of you that is calculating.
Yeah.
It's the part of you that is learning about how to use power.
Right.
You came in with the planet of power next to that Leo sun.
Right.
Pluto.
So, what I love about astrology, and just to look from a more general perspective for a second here, and we'll get back to me. But
I hope so.
I was kidding. No, I'd rather be talking about her. Is how I'm a scientific-minded person, so I have to have some level of science. And it doesn't have to be not modern science. It doesn't have to be the scientific method where our five senses has to understand it. It could be outside of our five senses, but it has to make some rational, logical sense to me, right? Practical. And we talked about one other time before, but I just love the fact that when the everything's energy and frequencies, and when frequencies are bouncing and interfering with each other and bouncing off of these planets, when there's a movement, right, whatever it may be, and when an energy from Mercury, or we said Jupiter earlier, frequency lands here on Earth, and somebody's born in that frequency, that's when there's potentially this connection with that sign. So it's not so much you were born a Leo, you were born a Capricorn, but you were born with a specific frequency around you, within you, in you, everywhere. And this specific frequency is very unique, and how you help define frequencies is by using planetary
Absolutely.
symbols.
And then when certain frequencies repeat themselves,
Right.
we click into a very special groove. Like the soul feels very much at home in certain energies.
Yes.
So you just have begun your new year, because our year begins on our birthday. And January 1st is just an arbitrary calendar date.
Let's go there, because that's really what I really want to know. How does this work with this new year on your birthday? Because everybody has a new year, apparently.
Right. And often, it's interesting, very often people are tired before their birthday. Like they're ready to celebrate, but not really. Everybody else wants to celebrate them. But if they really tune in, they go, because you're ending a year and beginning a new year. So you could have felt really tired the last few days.
The day before my birthday, the day before the show, Suchi here to tell you, is I was exhausted. I fell asleep at 7:00 p.m.
Yeah.
I go to bed at 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Your soul
I was
taking...
exhausted. I couldn't wait to get home and go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. See, because so if we had talked a month ago, I would have said, Tim, just know you're ending the whole last year now, since last August, which was huge with the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
And so give yourself more time, I would have said, get more sleep. Yeah. So the beauty of understanding the planetary energies is when things like that happen, and then the person says, but that's just not me. I go to bed at 2 in the morning. How did I fall asleep at 7?
I couldn't explain it.
Your soul was taking care of you and going, you know what, we need to go to bed now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just because I had to get up at 5:00 in the morning. But I mean, honestly, I normally would have stayed up later. I may not even went to bed, but they knew I had to get my rest. But so you're saying it was a change and shift in energy.
Absolutely.
When we get back from this another break here, let's talk about how to recognize these changes and shift in energy, because it went right by me, but although I knew there was a difference, and how we can use that energy or that understanding to make some better decisions going forward. Right?
Beautiful.
We're talking to Lorelei Robbins, astrologer to the stars. Catch her on the Miracle Minute on Facebook. And the quick, it's Miracle Minute, Lorelei Robbins. How do they get you?
Well, just put Lorelei Robbins in the search thing and it'll come up.
Pops up. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Tim Ray, founder of the United Intentions Foundation. I want you to imagine a world where bullying doesn't exist? Or how about your child wakes up in the morning and is grateful for everything they have, or they actually believe in himself or herself? On top of that, imagine this. Imagine your child understands that their thoughts and feelings create what they experience. All this is possible with our Imagine If program. And it's all about social emotional learning, showing children how their thoughts and feelings create what they experience. To learn more, go to imagineifprogram.org.
What if you could have whatever you desired with a simple thought? Wishful thinking? Science has proven that thoughts can change our reality. Join the movement and be part of an interactive virtual community that helps you take control of your life through the power of intentions. Learn to create the life you desire, one intention at a time. Sign up today for your free account and start creating.
Hi, I'm Tim Ray, founder of the United Intentions Foundation. And how would you like to have a formula for manifesting whatever you want in your life? You think it's that easy? Well, maybe not that easy, but you could start out with this. Understanding that it's all about creating a state of being. Your state of being, how you act throughout your day, how you feel about yourself throughout the day, and being conscious of that in any given moment. And understanding these three principles: repetition, expectancy, and meaning. And adding those three principles into your life could change and create the state of being that you would need to actually manifest what you want. Remember, repetition, expectancy, expecting what you really want, repeating what you want, and also adding meaning to what you want creates that state of being, a fertile land and fertile soil for you to attract what you truly want to experience. To learn more, go to unitedintentions.org. We are back with Lorelei Robbins on the Good Intentions Show. I'm Tim Ray, your host, and I am just so excited about being here with you because you, just your brightness, your enthusiasm for life just comes out, and every time somebody has a conversation with you, no matter when and where, the people are just like, wow, Lorelei Robbins.
Well, let me say, if I may,
Yeah.
I'm a Libra, but
Okay.
I have a character,
Okay.
how I do things, in Leo. So you see yourself in me as I see myself. In other words, I'm not all you and you're all me, but the playfulness, that what you just said, and I
Yes.
will receive that,
Right.
but that is a reflection of yourself.
Really?
Which
Huh.
is why you're attracted to it.
Exactly right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when we don't like something. We're
Right.
getting to learn something about ourselves.
It's the mirroring.
It's the mirroring. Nobody's in our life by accident.
Yeah.
You know, the Course in Miracles says the holy encounter. Every relationship is a holy encounter that we will lose or find ourselves in.
I love it. You know, it is. I've noticed that often, and more so lately than ever before. So it is something about this energy shift. I'm not sure how it works. I don't even care. I do care to know, but it's not that important for me to know. As long as you know, I'm fine with that.
Well, and I'd like, just something else just popped into my head about you,
All right.
about where you are now.
All right.
You were born with what drives you, Mars. We all have Mars in the chart. Mars is what drives us. It's the planet of action. You were born with Mars in Scorpio, which means that's the depth. That's the depth in you of wanting to transform things, wanting to change things. Well, you're in a cycle, a 12-year cycle now, of expanding your desire, your passion, what propels you forward. So I'm not surprised at all about all of the various things that you're creating. And what I would say to you, if joy is your compass,
Yeah.
you can't miss.
Joy is my compass. All I want to do is have fun.
That's exactly right. And that's not a frivolous thing.
Yeah.
Because when we are having fun, our heart is open and we are engaged. Entertainment is to engage. It's to open people up, to teach what is yours to teach. Leo, the sun, is going to shift out of Leo on the 23rd of August, as it does every year. So the fact that we're doing this now, I just want to reiterate for everybody that we all get to consciously take from Leo now, meaning the heart energy.
Huh.
And there is something else going on that's in Leo, without belaboring the North Node, which is everybody's collective invitation since last May is Leo, which is, again, that's why I said anything that comes from the heart will work. You happen to embody that energy. You embody Leo energy. People don't have to have any Leo energy in their chart to basically avail themselves of this joyful, playful, creative,
collective invitation.
Collective invitation.
Yeah.
It's the collective soul invitation now to Leo, which is interesting why so many people are doing shows now.
Right.
I was thinking about that this morning. Well, that makes sense. North Node's in Leo. This one's doing a show. That one's doing a show because they are the show.
A lot of Leos doing shows.
Well, Leo is.
Nice
it's about delight in your own company.
Right.
That's what's really, really important, right?
Sounds a little narcissistic, but I'll go with what.
Well,
what
if taken to an extreme.
Yeah, I know, right? Back to the people identifying their energy shift change on their birthday.
Right.
Now, I assume everyone's different, or is there always going to be a change every birthday, or?
Yeah, because basically we do a chart on the birthday. So I did a chart specifically for when the sun came back to where it was when you were born, and that sets up like a new birth chart for that year. So for instance, if the sun is in a certain part of the chart, then the direction for that year very likely will lend itself in that direction. So it's just another piece of data. See, I always refer to this is information. It's not a belief system. One does not have to believe. In fact, people that say, oh, I believe in astrology, they scare me because they're giving their power away.
Right.
As opposed to, this is data. It is information, and if it improves the quality of your life and your own understanding of yourself, relationships, and timing, use it. If it doesn't, don't. I tune people into who they are so they can make the decisions they want to make. I don't predict anybody's future. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, you're pretty good on Trump, though. The little bit of time we have left here, let's talk about a little bit on a bigger picture, because this is more of a Leo question, probably, you would say. But what about your purpose and your goal here in life, or purposes that you may have?
I get excited watching people's genius unleash, and to be able to say, well, look at her doing her Virgo thing, or he's doing his, it's just a language, but the excitement of that, Abraham says, I want to be a catalyst to helping people feel good. I want to be such a catalyst to helping them feel good, I don't notice when they don't.
Right. Now, is that a trait of your sign?
It's a trait of Leo, and that's what drives me. So I'm a Libra. See, the sun is not at home in my sign because Libra wants to please. Leo doesn't give a damn.
But I invited you now to have fun, though.
Yes, you did. And every time I'm with you, I hook into your Leo energy.
We do have fun all the time, don't we?
Yes, and with Susan McDowell, you have a Leo connection. She's got Leo energy.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
We see in others what is in us.
Yes.
And we can just choose to love it all, even if it's stuff that gets us.
Right.
But with you, it's very much this. You have it with John. John and I have 9 planets in the same sign. We're no more 9 days apart. Talk about mirrors.
See, that should be the new checklist for finding a mate. Check off your planets aligned.
That's right.
Rather than tall, dark, and handsome. If the planets are aligned.
Yeah. Where are the mirrors?
Yeah. So on a collective level, because you talk about everybody with different purposes, everybody with different astrological signs and moon risings and whatever else goes on in astrology. On a collective level of everybody together, where do you see this world moving towards or growing towards?
I see people giving themselves more permission to be who they really are, to play full out and to unleash their genius. That's what I see. I see people stepping out to express, to be in service. It's the Martin Luther King quote, use me, God. Show me how to take who I am, who I can be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself.
Right.
That's where we are.
Right.
And we can only do that, in my opinion, by giving voice to all of us.
Well, it sounds very optimistic from your perspective.
Yes.
Well, if you turn on
because I believe the world is a friendly place, like Einstein.
Right, but if you turn on the news, though, you wouldn't get that perspective.
I don't turn on the news.
Smart woman.
I don't. Because I can affect where I am right here in my world. Whatever's going to happen in the world is happening, but if I hook into that, I'll never get out of bed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm being a little dramatic, but I'm talking to you, so I can be dramatic.
Listen, I stopped watching news 9 years ago. No, maybe I said 7 years, maybe 7, 8 years ago. I mean, and if I'm at the gym and I see the TV screens on, and I'm forced to catch up a little bit, but I immediately I don't allow their intentions to be absorbed into my belief system.
Yeah. Well, because again, there's a part of you with the water, and you could totally absorb that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you say water, you mean the water signs?
Yeah. In other words, all the signs are fire, earth, air, and water, and hopefully we have
So
a
it's
little
not
bit of
just
each.
it's not just a band. You're saying
It's not just a band. No, no.
Earth,
not
Wind, and
just
Fire. No.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
There's something more to that than just
There is
that.
more than that.
So and those elements, because I'm sure they're symbolic of a frequency, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And those elements interact with each other, and how they interact with each other creates a state of being for someone.
Yeah,
or-
absolutely. And then we dance in the frequency.
And then we
And
dance
of
in
course,
the
the more
frequency.
we're aware of it, then we can work with the energies consciously as opposed to unconsciously. You know, I meet this person and they trigger something in me, and rather than going, oh my God, I'm going to learn about power with this
Yes.
person. I'm going to learn about what I've done with power.
Well, like you said, like in the Course of Miracles, or just had one person on. She goes, everyone you meet, treat them as your soulmate, because at that point you're engaged with who they are, and you're going to learn whatever lesson you're supposed to meet, even if the person's behind the supermarket desk there.
I call that every match is made in heaven. Same thing she said.
Right.
That's
right,
exactly what I believe. Holy encounter.
right. And
Every single one. So I always look for the blessing. I go, I can't wait to see what the blessing in this interaction is going to be for me.
Right. Right.
You know, that very thing where you're opening your mouth to say something uplifting to someone else, and it's exactly what you need to hear.
Yeah, or you open up a book and you're like, and I did that. I just did the other day, and I'm like, wow, and I was reading to somebody too.
Well, you are the psychic, believe it or not, with that Pisces moon.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I do notice there's the veil between this three-dimensional world and the spiritual world, if you want to call it that, or beyond our five senses, is thinning out. And I see that in so many different people.
Totally.
And I'm starting to realize, wow, that there's so much more spiritual things going on beyond our five senses, positive and negative. It's not, or interpreted that way, what it may be. And it's a whole other world. And I think...
And people are opening up and waking up to that.
And so as we become lighter, we're going to have those more experiences.
Yes.
Well, I have to have you come back again.
I'd
because
love to.
This goes way too fast, doesn't it? Yeah, it's terrible.
So much fun.
I know. So we're talking to Lorelei Robbins, and people can reach you, of course, on the Miracle Minute on Facebook.
A dose of magic, joy, and inspiration.
There, a dose of magic, joy, and inspiration. You heard it right there. Thank you, Lorelei.
Thank you,
And
Tim.
thank you guys for listening. And remember, your perception creates your reality, and if you change your perception, you can change your reality. Until next time, take care.